Hey, stoned wrestling fans. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you why. First and foremost, it's free. Hey, more money for that overpriced dispensary weed. Also, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor's also going to distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that jazz. You can make money from your podcast as well with no minimum listenership. Yo, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. But maybe smoke first, because that's always good.
Yeah, we miss you, Brodie Lee.
Yeah, that's really the thing. That's the smoke overarching thing. We're going to smoke up for Brodie.
Happy New Year's, bitches.
Happy New Year.
We made it.
Happy 2021. We made it. We took a week off, but we made it. Welcome back.
We had to make sure the world didn't end. Like, we had to duck and cover.
Exactly right. But we're here. It's the 420 Wrestling Hour. Back for another edition. It's me, Over Easy, Kyle Kush. I just did it. I dropped my first name. I don't give a fuck. It's 2021. Over Easy, Kyle Kush. That's my new gimmick. I thought about it. Kyle Kush. Over Easy. That. That's
Yo, what up? It's Arium here, a.k.a. The Canary.
Mm-hmm. This is JB Bad, also known as the Impact Man. Boldly going where no host go before. Can you be the
Impact Driver?
The Impact Driver. I like it. I'm the Impact Driver. That's pretty good. Driving us off a cliff to Impact.
That's pretty good.
Driving us insane with these silent matches because they can't afford to have fans around. Shit, I'm wasting my Impact minute. I'm wasting it.
We're finally all AKA'd. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And now that we're all AKA'd, let's find out what the hell we're getting high on today. Because this is my day off, and I've been smoking all day, so I'm high.
I promised JB that since we took 2 weeks off, that he could have an Impact minute.
Full Impact minute.
That's fair.
And of course, this is the one time they don't need it. Because they only did review shows.
I was about to say, they didn't have new episodes, did they?
Nah, so I don't need the Impact minute.
You're getting 30 seconds, all right?
I'm getting 30. I can spend it talking about Trish Parker, which I will always do.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
We got smoking.
Well, shit. What are you guys smoking? I'll go last.
I got some Kush Mints today.
Oh, yeah, that's good shit right there.
Hell yeah.
Kush Mints. Merry Kush Mints. I'm still on that banana OG.
Oh, you're on that banana OG.
You know, it's banana OG.
Banana.
Banana.
And you're on the cartridge life still.
Still in that cartridge life.
What about you, Ariam? What's your method of consumption today?
I moved over to cartridge for like non-recording time, but I'm staying with the standard joint for 420 Wrestling Hour.
I got my first joint of the 420 Wrestling Hour. I'm usually smoking bowls on this show, but today I got
Feels good to hold.
I've got my 14 grams of indica popcorn here from High Supply. This is the GG number 4 original glue, heavy indica. I've got some couch lock right now, but this will make this a real interesting show. I'm excited to do it. But I'm drinking tea out of my High Supply 14 gram sativa mug. So I don't know if that's going to make any difference or not, but we'll have to see. But I'm going to spark it up, and we've been off the air for 2 weeks. Of wrestling, so we got a lot of shit to talk about.
Hell yeah!
But we did it.
We are way behind.
Happy New Year!
We back.
JB, how about you start us off with the Impact minute?
Oh, the Impact minute. Okay.
Impact 30, I think.
The Impact 30.
We really want to hook the listeners right away. So
we're gonna start them off with a high point. Okay.
Let's get right into the biggest story from the last 2 weeks. Impact Wrestling.
Impact Wrestling. 30 seconds. All right.
Put your timer on.
Wait. Let me get the timer.
Put the clock on me. All right.
Come on.
Here, let me get that timer. All right, I got you. All right. You ready?
I'm ready, baby.
All right. And go.
Bitch, how y'all doing? Here comes the Impact minute coming right at you. Only I got 30 seconds. We had all of the matches that were hot in 2020 going on this time this year. Trish Parker is fine, and I will watch every match she's in. The North versus the Motor City Machine Guns taking place right there on the 5 of the Michigan hand. That was a cold ass match. Kenny Omega gonna take the whole thing over. They had Eddie Kingston winning a whole bunch of shit. Eddie Kingston, Eddie Edwards, and we were going hard at Impact. And we gonna see you next year, coming hard, Impact Zone, in your mouth, bow bow.
Boom.
Yeah.
Nice.
I heard a little
Ain't none of that shit make sense.
Nice. Well done. I feel informed.
Wait,
yes,
Eddie Kingston was on Impact?
I said Eddie Edwards. I was getting hyped.
You corrected yourself. Okay, got it. Just making sure. I was like, more crossovers. Sweet.
Not yet. There was nothing. Literally, it was just a review show. Just excuses to see all their wrestlers. A little bit of a promo. That there's nothing there.
Speaking of
Eddie getting earnest.
Sounds captivating.
Kingston, should we move into AEW?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing to talk about. We got to talk about Brodie, right?
Yeah.
There's no avoiding it. This is dominating the wrestling community, the past week or so. It's the biggest thing to talk about, and that's the last thing that I watched was the Brodie tribute show on AEW. Mm-hmm. And man, I haven't cried like that watching wrestling for a minute, dude.
Man, that was something else.
Dude.
Rowan showing up?
Come on, man.
Redbeard.
Lost my mind.
What a moment.
Big rig.
What a moment, man.
What a moment that was, and how cool was it that, it was so clear, at least from my perspective, that Jericho had no fucking clue, because he's screaming out, Eric Rowan, and the other dude, Excalibur's like, Redbeard.
Anything.
He didn't care.
You can't say that. No, they didn't.
He said the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, he just called it what it is.
Well,
he did not care.
Even in that last video package for Brodie, they included a ton of WWE guys in that, which is cool. Like, I don't know if they had clearance for that or if they didn't give a fuck, but it's a huge part of the guy's career. So to include a lot of those photos and not just keep it, in his AEW world was cool to see. But top to bottom, that Dynamite was the best episode of pro wrestling I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was special.
Like, and it was all Jericho. Like 6-man tags.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But it didn't matter.
But even though they kind of took a pause on good guy, bad guy kind of shit, and the Dark Order were clearly baby faces when normally they're not, they still used it to advance characters. And what you got from that John Silver dude.
Yeah.
Man, how do you not
went off?
How do you not? A star was born.
Yes.
And if not for this unique set of circumstances, maybe that doesn't happen for a long time, a while longer at least. But
right.
Yeah, their ability to still make a real wrestling show out of this was something special. Like
on that, Eddie, go ahead.
No. I think you're gonna mention. I'm gonna leave that to you. But Eddie Kingston gonna come do something special. You're gonna talk about the way MJF was able to involve Brodie Lee in the match. There was the way Anna Jay got her and her tag team more established. There was real storylines going on.
Yes, I was so impressed. I was like, this is why AEW is so different from WWE. Eddie Kingston came out and said something to the effect, I don't want to butcher it, but he said, the Dark Order is nothing without Brodie, and I'm going to show you, you cowards. And it put over Brodie, progressed the storyline. Eddie Kingston showed respect to Brodie, and also was just like, but I'm here to also fuck y'all up. And I was just so down for it. I was like, how did you accomplish all of that in one sentence?
This is in my notes for week 1, but it applies right here. Eddie Kingston it takes so much work to make Eddie Kingston a heel, and he is willing to do that work every single time.
My God.
Every single solitary time. I have to come out here and say something to Brodie because that's what's important. Right. Now I have to immediately do the work of being a heel because that's my job. And he found a way to do it.
Man, oh man. What a pro, a veteran.
That's great.
Yeah, Eddie's on my short list for performers of the year for sure. Yeah, top to bottom, that show was booked perfectly, especially that the 6-man with MJF and Santana and Ortiz.
Oh my goodness, what a
MJF
match.
with those fucking Puerto Rican shorts.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
The dude he's I know there's probably been better heels, but right now he is my favorite fucking heel. Like he's just, I hate him so much, and he has such great attention to detail.
Like slamming the poor kid's head into a railing.
Yes.
You see him tweeting "fuck that kid" after the show.
Fuck that kid. No one.
He did not. You're kidding.
Yes,
Yes, he did. He
no,
tweeted, "Fuck
he
that kid."
absolutely did. No one is as committed as this man is.
Holy fuck.
Because
pro-
that's what the game
When he went
is.
over there, I was like, "This shit is weird, man." And T-Bar
that
said
kid.
something on I think Twitter about people's hot takes about the Huber family and like pretty much go and fuck yourself with that if you like have a hot take that's gonna like actually affect the Huber family in a bad way. But while I was watching it, I was like, man, they're really going at this Brodie Jr. thing in the crowd and involving him in that spot before the kendo stick. I was like, I don't really see what the point of this was. And then when he hit him with the kendo stick, I was like, okay, great payoff.
Yeah,
but I was
incredible.
like, man, what a brave kid. This dude just lost his father. And it's like, he's with it enough to like want to do this show and to have listened to all this direction and how the whole show's going to go, and to be like, to fucking hit the moment so well. I was like, I don't know that I could have done that.
You could tell he loved it.
Yeah, kid's a real lover of wrestling. And
He loved
kid's
it.
an AEW employee now since he's been signed to
He
a
has
contract.
been signed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like, hey, he's doing his job. That's
And
And
what a gimmick when he comes of age to be bequeathed by Tony Khan, the
Hell yeah.
lifetime champion, TNT champion. Like if he becomes a wrestler, he never has to put that belt down. He's like, you can't take it off me.
True that.
Tony fucking Khan said it. I'm the last fucking TNT champion forever.
Right.
What a cool gimmick.
I was really confused, and then they clarified that it was of that design
Yeah.
and not the whole belt. Because I was like, doesn't Darby have that motherfucker right now?
That's what I thought too. I guess I did. I guess I was worked on that. I thought they really
I was
retired the
confused
belt.
as fuck.
Yeah, I was a little confused, but they cleared that up.
Thank God.
I think that's
commentary-
smarter than
I did
that-
not see the clear up, so thank you for
That's
clearing that up for me.
that's their way of getting. That's their way of getting out of that. It was a B design. Let's say
Okay.
Yes.
a B plus.
Yes.
A B design of this T and tarting it up and making it gold made it B plus.
Okay.
Like,
Right. Because at first it was a D minus.
They tried to blame that poor sorry belt on COVID. Oh, we couldn't finish it because of
How
COVID.
dare they?
No,
Nobody rushed
Don't bring
you.
COVID into this. Don't bring
No,
COVID
yeah.
into this.
COVID ain't got nothing to do with at home design. Maybe production, but not at home design.
COVID's having enough problems right now. Don't you drag poor COVID into this.
Oh, COVID.
Oh, wait, did COVID just turn face? What is happening?
COVID just turned face. Like you,
It did on the 420 wrestling hour.
It's got a lot of blood on his hand. It cannot be blamed for that TNT belt design.
No.
Like,
How has this
that
belt
was-
got so much heat that COVID has sympathy right now? What is happening?
That's just a daggum lie.
I'm not gonna let that happen. Okay.
And -1 is a fucking cool name.
Yep,
Negative
love it.
one, yeah.
And gave him an entrance. Like it was all dope,
Yeah,
man.
that moment with him coming in with the boots, and I couldn't take it, man. I lost it.
Yeah.
I didn't, it was just, wow, what a show. I'm still on a high from that. And
It was a great show.
It doesn't
Can I-
happen very often.
Can I make one complaint about the show?
I got complaints about it still. Yeah, let's go.
Tony, shut the fuck up about Sting.
Okay, thank you.
Please.
I don't want to harp
Why?
on. I don't want to harp on about the same thing every week, but
I don't want to harp on it either, but I will. He put himself over. He said it like 3 times in a row. We must be the only ones who did not like that shell of himself performance he gave 3 weeks or a month ago. We must be, right?
It has to be. It
I
must
don't
be real
know.
popular
I don't hear
somewhere.
a ton of people criticizing it. It seems like people love it, and I have just as much criticisms about JR. I think you noticed with Chris Jericho on commentary.
Oh,
Chris,
so good.
I mean, he's not great yet, but I think he's got the potential if you let him keep getting his reps to be a really good
The
commentator.
energy.
Heel kind of in the vein of Jerry Lawler and Bobby the Brain and shit like that. Maybe not as good as them ultimately, but he's got the potential. But what I noticed about him on AEW was his energy was what I was looking for on par with the action. And fucking JR was like calling him out on it, like, wow, maybe you should switch to decaf. I'm like, bro, maybe not. Like, maybe we're watching fucking Wednesday Night Dynamite, not like Sunday
Seriously.
afternoon golf. Like, I know
Yeah.
you're older and you're more tired, but like, maybe hand over the mic then, dude, because it's more boring with you guys on there. And every time
Real
they
talk.
show that table, I'm like, please don't show the announcer table anymore. Like, I don't want to see Tony Schiavone dressed in a goddamn sweater vest and Skechers, like, and dad jeans, looking like he's about to mow the lawn, and then interviewing Sting. Like, it just makes it seem, I don't know. I know I harp on about this, but
I know, but you're not wrong. And
it's
on
just
that
what
topic,
keeps me from enjoying the show as much as I really want to on a weekly basis.
Absolutely. On that topic, I was arguing with somebody online, and they were like, I shouldn't have, because I need to get over that. It's so fucking bad. It's such a waste of time.
Sometimes
But
you gotta let that steam off.
you do.
You got to do it sometimes.
Here's what it was, man. They were saying that somebody was being like, Sting is being overexposed. And I tend to agree. And they were like likening him to not being like The Undertaker because he wanted to sign like a contract and be there every week. And I don't know, maybe I am used to the way the WWE kind of shows us legends where they don't let us see them too much. And it's a really like big pop once we actually get to that. I don't understand how Sting can like be in this capacity on AEW every Wednesday, but I hate that he's there every week. Like, it's taken away the awe and the mystique of not seeing him for so long, the excitement of like seeing him back. He's there every week and he's not doing anything of note. Like, he's just like showing up and kind of being the good guy, kind of being the hero, but not really like saving anyone. Like, I don't know. Maybe y'all can help me out and help me understand and help me to fucking like it.
What do you think, JB Bad?
As the big Sting mark in the house. Now I'm enjoying the blessing that he is bequeathing onto Darby. Like, I think he is christening Darby as to mean to the kids and to the, because I think if I was young, I would think Darby was the coolest fucking thing.
No doubt.
I would just think,
yeah,
and I think Sting is going to do a great job giving him a big sense of major league, main event potential and credibility. That's the word I'm looking for, because that banana na kush is kicking in. He's gonna give him that.
That Chris Rock bit. Oh man, you guys know which one I'm talking about.
Nah, you threw that one by me.
No, the Chris Rock special where he's doing the bit where he's singing Gwen Stefani's beat I'm derailing the conversation.
I got you now.
Love Chris Rock. Shout outs.
No, but he does need to get on with it. I'd like to see, and maybe that it's a week behind because everything kind of paused for Brodie, but I do need to see him do or start to do whatever it is he came here to do. Mm-hmm. They can't tease this forever. So
exactly,
whatever you're doing, get on with it.
Please.
I get who you're associating with. I get you're doing something with Darby.
It's been established.
I like where this is going. Now go.
Yes.
Now,
it's my same complaint with KO and Roman right now, which we'll get to a little bit later. But
I think that's more of the story has ended. But for me, this is the problem I have with, but it's now resolved itself with Xia Li and Bo on NXT.
Right.
Like,
I think they did a good job because it's next week.
Over now.
It's over. But if it would have went on maybe one more week with one of those type of programs that they did on this Wednesday, I don't know that it would have been worth it.
So in that vein, I think one's mileage may vary on this. I think it may come down to the watcher how much of this Sting teasing and edging that you personally care for.
That's exactly right.
And that might just be based on how much of a relationship you have with Sting and a relationship you have with Darby Allin, which is not either of this. Is actually, you're like right on the outside of, you're too old for Darby. You're a little too young to care deeply about Sting. Like, this is probably going right by you on both levels.
Maybe.
So
I'm so used to this black and white Sting though, like I had a mask when I was a kid, like I had a shirt.
Yeah, but that guy that you loved when you had that you had the mask and the shirt of was not doing Dusty Rhodes impressions with fucking nerd looking Tony Schiavone in the ring.
I know, and that's my problem.
Needs to get on.
And as a guy who, like you said, JB Bad, I'm on the way end of the spectrum of like I never cared about Sting because I hated WCW, so. As an adult, like when he came back, it wasn't as cool for me because I didn't have as emotional connection. I knew it was a big deal, but it didn't, hit me in the feels like it hit you guys. So now,
I mean, it was a good Dusty impression.
It was a good
real
Dusty
good Dusty impression.
I'll give him that. A lot of people do good Dusty impressions, though. It's like to see Sting do it seemed weird to me. It was just
need to stop.
Here's the thing for me. Sting is too much of a person right now. Yeah. And I realized Sting was never like The Undertaker as far as a personality when he was on WCW. But I mean, I know he would have like regular conversations like a person, but it didn't seem like now. It didn't seem so nonchalant. Like all of this seems so nonchalant, and like his energy's down, the stakes are down. And for him to come back after this long, I need stakes to be up every time he comes on screen, man.
Yeah, I've lost the high for it for sure.
It needs to kick off. Like
you got to press on the gas and let's go.
Yeah.
What are we doing? But they're setting something up with the Taz group. It's probably going to be, a big, 8-man tag, so Sting doesn't have to do too much, and or maybe he never wrestles. Maybe he's just going to manage. I don't know.
Like, yeah, we'll. I think it'll be satisfying whichever way it goes. It just needs to start.
Yeah,
like,
I'm here for it. I'm along for the ride, but let's just go. Let's pick up the pace a little bit.
Can I talk about the women's division? Because I love my women's division wrestling.
Yeah. Get at it.
One thing I'm just gonna say it and then I'm gonna leave it. Jade said she meant to say convenient. She said convenient, and
convenient.
she just needs to not speak anymore.
Ever.
Just never. I don't know. She needs. Here's the thing. I was actually going to make this argument. Is I feel like AEW has a fucking valet or manager or a posse for every fucking performer. Like everyone comes out with 10 goddamn wrestlers, and I'm just not with it.
Are they going too hard on the factions? Is maybe a question to be asked about AEW.
I don't think so.
I thought they weren't, but there's two. Every time I'm doing, because you guys know, okay, behind the scenes, I do the episode card results, and I am fucking doing Matt Hardy and the Private Party, Colt Cabana with the Acclaimed, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like doing widths and widths and widths on every fucking match. The Blade with the Bunny and with Jake the Snake.
That last
with Arn
episode
Anderson
was especially bad. I don't think that's like that every week because it was a lot of Dark Order in like every match.
Yes, that's fair. But it's like, and I don't know which ones of them it is. But anyways, I derailed. One thing that I was watching with the women's division maybe 2 weeks ago was Hikaru Shida is a fucking boss. And the rest of the division is kind of floundering around her, unfortunately. And I was just like, man, I'm glad she's getting the help that she needs. But I would love to see what this division would be like with Smiley Kylie.
Sure.
Yep.
Like, just somebody else that's to like Hikaru's level. I don't know anybody else that like really is right now.
I feel like sadly they needed someone like Jericho or Moxley who already had the big name WWE cred. They needed like
that's why they wanted her.
When Sasha was teasing not re-signing a contract or whatever, and there was speculation that she might wind up over there. That really excited me.
Crazy.
Somebody like that could change the game over there. But
my gosh,
they've tipped their hand in one way. They wanted Smiley Kylie, and for whatever reason, that very much didn't work out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have shown that they've kind of pinned themselves on being a very moral and good company to work out, so they won't hire Tessa Blanchard, who is the other person who will fill that role. But she's apparently she's not a great person to have in your locker room if you're going to be treating people well. So so like you got to build your own. Then we talk about this a lot.
Yeah,
if you can't snap your fingers and make them appear.
And I know I harp on it every week, but it's something I just, when I'm watching WWE and I'm watching NXT weekly, and I'm like, man, there is such a gap in those divisions from WWE/NXT to AEW in the women's division. It's not a small gap. No. If anyone thinks it is, I'm so sorry, but it's not even close yet.
AEW lost on the hiring race because WWE hired everyone.
Yeah,
they did. They gobbled up talent, but the word is that they're not that's not so much the strategy anymore as far as WWE. I don't know if that's just hearsay or whatever, but there's also rumors that several WWE superstars have not renewed their latest contracts, which leads you to believe that now that there's competition out there, this was supposed to happen sooner or later. More and more talent who weren't thrilled with the direction that their creative was going might seek greener pastures, just like the WCW days.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see if that, especially on the women's side, because it is pretty lopsided, as you said.
Maybe that's the reason why WWE is kind of including a lot of people right now.
Maybe.
I don't know if you guys are feeling that when you're watching too. I feel like a lot of the roster is included. Like they're covering a broader base of those that we may not never see. Like Dana's on a lot. Billie Kay's on right now a lot.
Well, she's very entertaining. I'm gonna give Billie
Tamina's
Kay
been
that.
on 2 weeks in a row.
I
Would you
mean,
say Billie Kay?
They are
Yeah.
using different.
Yeah.
They are using different kinds of people, and I always talked about this like in a world that wasn't COVID affected. Like you can do this if you just cycle them. You know,
Yeah.
cycle them in, cycle them out, park people, put them down, put them up.
Mhm.
Like do like 4-week programs with somebody and have a nice big table match. Write them off for a little bit. Like the things they're
That's how
having
it
to
should
do.
be.
When people are having to take COVID breaks is how you could write and structure yourself to just keep talent fresh and keep it moving. So,
Mhm.
you know, they're forced to do a good thing right now.
Yeah, good point.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's where I'm at on I guess the AEW women's division right now. It's nice to see Tainara Conti or Ty Conti and Anna Jay and Britt Baker, whatever gimmick she's in this week. I thought they had a pretty good, tag team match. I don't even remember who the fourth. Who do you know who the fourth woman was?
Was Anna Joy?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Because I didn't. Yeah,
Anna
I didn't
Jay.
know.
Anna Jay. Yeah.
Man, she's
Anna
fine.
Jay, Tay Conti. Yeah. Britt Baker and yeah. Anyways, it was fine. Penelope Ford. That's who it was. Penelope Ford.
Oh yeah, Penelope. I like her too.
Yeah. And Thunder Rosa came out.
She's
at
got
the end. I like
potential,
Thunder.
Penelope. I remember when I was at All In, the first All In, she had some really good spots in a match. Like she was, I think she was with Joey Janela at the time.
Mhm.
And she came in and like Hurricane Rana a dude and did a few spots. And I was like, I'm about to buy that chick's t-shirt. Like, what's her story? I did not know who she was. But I mean, I haven't seen her work a ton in AEW yet.
Yeah.
Everybody excited for next week, which was supposed to be this week's Dynamite? Kenny taking on Ray Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
I am.
Yeah, baby.
And I like that they didn't touch it because I don't think they needed to.
And they could have. And
They could have.
They could have, but they decided, no, this is going to be an all Brodie Lee week. And that's, it's almost like you don't want to be as simplistic and reductive as to say there's a good company and an evil company, but damn it, like, it feels
truly.
like it this week, you know?
In a world of pro wrestling that is so hell bent on having good and evil, it's easy to make those assign those roles to these two companies.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Can we talk about how I want to know how y'all feel about how WWE handled the loss of Brodie Lee, John Huber, Luke Harper with just the memorial card on all three shows.
Yeah,
like, did you?
And I think this is more. And I think after this, we can probably move on to actual WWE because, like, a lot of stuff
Yeah.
in AEW just fed into this, and we'll talk about it now. But yeah, I think this is a good place to take this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It was rough.
Mm-hmm.
It was, they didn't treat him well.
No.
As they could have. They didn't deserve to say more than they did. So it would have been weird if they tried. But it just, the lack that they could say about him kind of highlighted how poorly they treated him when they had him.
Yeah. It's like that pandering versus like genuine.
Yeah. That's
argument.
about as well as you treated him. A note at the beginning. So like if they'd done more, it would have probably rung hollow. Like remember that thing there's that tweet by Kevin Nash. It was actually a response by Kevin Nash. They said WWE.com tweeted out, click here to learn about the life of Luke Harper, and Kevin Nash tweets very little.
Wow.
So like, like that's
right.
That's your relationship with
and
him.
they let him go this year, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's also not a good look. Y'all fired him this year.
I mean, yeah, it's just not. I would have hated. It would have been weird. It's almost like it'd been weird to see them do more because it probably would have gone so bad.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think it would have come off as disingenuous and yeah, for how they treated him and their relationship with him. I think that I couldn't say it any better. That's
the sad part was watching how you saw WWE superstars were affected on social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it was obvious that like Seth Rollins and, you know, Bray Wyatt and, you know, other superstars were just like deeply affected, and they had a lot to say. And then to watch the shows that they were on and it just be like nothing. Like he wasn't there having those moments with him backstage, you know, like it just didn't match.
But like, man, it kind of put me in the mind of like when a black artist dies and he can get nothing but like a bunch of white artists to eulogize him. It's like, it's not like you can't be fans of him, but it ain't your family to say goodbye to, man. This is someone else's funeral here. Like sit back, and it just shows like Brodie Lee.
In that way, they made a respectful
wrestler.
decision. There,
yeah,
I guess.
And maybe like not allowing things like Big E and Seth Rollins pictures to show up on AEW, and just we're not going to say anything about it is the best they can do.
And allowing, I mean, maybe they didn't give the green light to, you know, guys like Big E who dropped references into their promos and plenty of spots over the week of WWE were in homage to Luke Harper. Announcers made reference to it with it's Monday, and you know what that means and shit like that. So there was definitely, you know, tributes paid to him, but not in a more overt way, I guess. It's interesting to think about.
Yeah, we miss you, Brodie Lee.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the overarching thing. We're gonna smoke up for Brodie because I always loved him, man. Oh man. Mm-hmm. I remember he made like a surprise appearance at that Worlds Collide thing, and he faced now T-Bar, but then
I would say Dijak, yeah,
Dominic Dijak, and it was so good. Mm-hmm. And I remember just thinking at that time, man, they could do so much with this guy. Maybe he should just go back to NXT. He would kill there, and he never did. And man, what a loss! Too soon.
Yep. Good old Brodie Lee. So let's move on to Raw.
Yep.
And sexy muscle friends. That's all I got to say about Raw.
Sexy muscle friends?
Yes. Asuka, while talking to Charlotte, said the words about Dana and Mandy.
Yes, that's
sexy
right.
muscle friends. And
right.
My head exploded, and I died, and I resurrected my damn self just so I could see the rest of that promo. Sexy muscle friends. I was like, no.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about
It's
that.
been 8 years since Raw, it feels like. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Sexy muscle
beautiful
friends.
Thing.
As if she never knew their names. It was like,
never.
Sexy muscle friends, yeah. That is so good.
Beautiful. I just had to get that out there.
I'll tell you what, I was a hypocrite at what was that, TLC?
Mm-hmm.
About, you know, the Charlotte Flair and Asuka kind of going, you know, tag team belts. I'm a fucking Asuka fan, and now she's Asuka 2 belts. Like, who the fuck am I to not be excited about this?
Come on.
Also, I used to love when, like, the big superstars that weren't in a tag team would win tag team belts together randomly in the past. Like Rock and Mankind, or like Stone Cold and The Rock, or Stone Cold and Mankind, or you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Undertaker and, like, Mankind. I used to love when those duos would, like, come about randomly.
Shawn Michaels, Ahmed Johnson.
Wait, did that really happen?
Yeah.
I believe they were tag team champs.
They were.
Holy shit.
So were Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin for a time.
Yes.
And Shawn Michaels and John Cena. He was good for those.
Yeah, for sure.
And he did it with Diesel too. It's coming up.
Hell yeah.
And I like those. So I was like, man, I'm down with this. And it brought some legitimacy or something for even Asuka to do on this Raw women's roster right now.
It just shouldn't have been Charlotte. It didn't make sense in the storyline. That's what the problem was. It should have been Lana. But maybe she's legit injured. I don't know.
Kayfabe.
Maybe. Just didn't make sense that it was Charlotte.
I'm sad that we've gotten too far away from it, because I was going to do a dramatic reading of Matt Riddle's speech that he gave with Jeff Hardy. Man. I can't find it anymore. That the text is gone, but it's almost funny how bad he was at those lines.
Yo, JB, I literally wrote, I was like, was Matt Riddle struggling with his monologue, or was he acting?
It's just riding that line, isn't it?
I can't tell.
I don't think he's doing any acting.
It's bad.
If it was maybe if it would be almost funny in a way that I don't think WWE is meta funny if he was sent out there to struggle.
Yeah.
Because the funniest thing about it, Because the funniest thing about that whole thing is that somebody gave Matt Riddle that speech.
My
Yeah,
God.
like the Joe Rogan references and shit.
Yeah, like no, it'll be hilarious. Watch him not be able to say this. It's like funny in a show about watching a show about wrestling.
Well, unless they put that on the network and we can all laugh at it, I don't give a fuck.
Like that's what I imagine the speech that Dean Ambrose got that made him quit was like. He got that speech. Was like, I'm not saying this.
The gas
Matt
mask.
Riddle says, "I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. Give me a bro nut. I'm in."
I still believe in Riddle. I still believe in his potential to be like a real.
I want to.
A real, top of the card champion. I think he's gonna do it.
I do too. All annoyances aside, I think
he'll get there.
Right in, he's on TV. The boss awfully loves him. He's not gonna have bad matches. He doesn't have Keith Lee issues where he needs to be taught a specific style either. So yeah, he's gonna be great.
Ugh. So yeah, Raw. Besides Sexy Muscle Friends, what is? It's no good.
It's not good. It's not been a good 2 weeks.
It's no good.
I agree.
I don't get the shit happening with the love triangle with McIntyre and Sheamus and Keith Lee. I don't, because now Keith Lee is clearly not going to win the WWE Championship on Legends Raw night, and if he does, it's not going to be good.
Agreed.
So,
here's how I think that goes. I think he loses here. I think it's smart to lose here. Wins Royal Rumble. Wins it at WrestleMania.
Nah, because that spot is saved for Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, baby. I called it drunk as fuck New Year's Eve. Daniel Bryan's winning the Royal Rumble. Keith Lee's going
They teased it this week.
I think that's
not
story.
a teaser. That's a spoiler, baby.
But if they're teasing it this early, it ain't the actual pick.
You could be right about that too.
This ain't early. This is 3 years too late, brother. He should have been won the Royal Rumble. That's why they gonna do this shit. He's got 2 Royal Rumble losses that he should have already picked up. Like, nah, they were gonna right that wrong and make it right this year. Daniel Bryan loses to a heel Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. For Big E to come in at SummerSlam and actually win this bitch. Bow.
You know who people are writing that it's going to be against Roman at WrestleMania?
Otis.
It's worse than that, my friend.
Please, Jesus. Goldberg. Yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah.
That is a thing.
And so what people are writing right now is saying that was the intention for this year, and so Vince didn't get it, and Goldberg is still a part-timer who's getting paid. Vince is gonna make that shit happen this year.
I mean, you're not
and
wrong
still
about
lose
that.
it to Roman. But nobody wants to see that unless I want Roman to beat his ass. I'm talking chairs, things that old man probably shouldn't do right now. That's the only way I want to see that fucking match.
Well, that match is about getting people into the building. Once it happens, the match is already over. So
exactly.
So what happens within the match is not nearly as important as the build.
Right.
So,
the build has a potential to be good, but I don't have high hopes for it.
I mean, but you're 100% right. Like somebody said to me, somebody that didn't say it to me. I read somewhere when they were talking about the last time it was going to be Roman Goldberg, and we were all pissing and moaning about that. And they're like, put yourself in 2004. All right. Imagine whoever's going to be hitting WrestleMania. They got a nice storyline built, and then you find out Stone Cold wants to come back and do another match.
Yeah.
Fuck your storyline. You're putting Stone Cold in the match for the title because it's Stone fucking Cold. So that's kind of...
And people that don't watch this shit every week like we do, they
Stone
still
Cold?
look at Goldberg as Stone Cold. He's still Stone Cold.
Yeah. More or less. So
damn,
that is a strong prediction on your point. But fuck it, I called it on New Year's. Daniel Bryan's winning the Royal Rumble. Let's get it, bitches.
All right. There it is.
It's got to happen.
Yeah. But
how are y'all feeling about this Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss stuff?
Well, I think it's trash.
I'm tired of watching people die.
It's trash.
I don't know.
What a horrible
I do think
cliffhanger.
it's bad, but maybe I'm just dumb because I'm like, it's something.
Why does Alexa Bliss have to be 8 years old? Like, what is happening? Why is she a child?
I don't like that.
Why is she a child? Why are we burning children?
He's
Why
just
are we
a kid. Because we want adult content on USA. So we're burning these children.
Yes, that's
She's
exactly
just a
right.
kid.
They're forcing this horrible adult content. Like, this is not... Randy Orton doesn't want to do this shit. The promo...
He's killing it, honestly.
I mean, I don't know. That whole promo of like, you want me to do it, but I just thought that was so bad. I don't know. I was not into it at all. I'm like, really? We're just gonna light people on fire? Like, and then we're gonna go off the air with a cliffhanger on that?
I liked it.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
God bless you, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason, you know why I liked it? Because Raw goes off the air so many times with shit I don't give a fuck about. And at least a cliffhanger, I can be like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but I want to know next week.
Yeah, but I don't like to be edged if we're not going anywhere with it. Like, you didn't burn her to death. And the one time you did that, I didn't like that. You burned the Fiend to death, and I wish you hadn't done that.
I think I'll like it if this other incarnation that Bray has planned is better than the Fiend. And I think if I know Bray's work so far, it's only gotten better.
Yeah.
I feel like he has something planned that's gonna make this shit all worth it.
I mean, yeah, there's ways to tell this story without burning
really
people to death. Like, like we did the Undertaker's Ascension. We've done lots of druids carrying people out. We've done disappearing. We have lightning. We have lots of ways to do this other than repeatedly burning people to death.
Yeah,
via Randy Orton. Like, you ain't got to do it that way.
No, you're right. You're right. I don't know why if the Fiend thing isn't happening soon, I don't know why they're on every week still talking about it. And if it is happening soon, it can't be too special because it's just like, if they're going to be on every week, when are we going to see the Fiend again? When is this going to wrap up?
To me, it doesn't feel like they know I don't think they have much of a plan. I could be wrong, but it just seems...
I wish they'd give me a nice red herring, like another direction for Randy Orton to go while this is happening. That would sell it for me.
Yeah.
A little bit. Just making, he doesn't have to focus on this right now.
I mean, we've just seen, we've seen Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch and Stone Cold Steve Austin and many, 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 many other wrestling characters over the years arrested for committing crimes. In the world of kayfabe, they've been arrested. Yet Randy Orton is just like allowed to come cut a promo after murdering a man. And now he's potentially about to kill another. Like, no one in the back is going to come out and be like, let's put an end to this right now. You're about to murder a fellow. Like, what are we doing? Like,
good point.
I know we're watching wrestling, but I just need a little bit more consistency in like what we're calling the cops on people for.
Yeah, when people are getting suspended for stuff in the ring.
What is?
And then Randy Orton's back at work.
What'd you say?
Back at work next day, like, yeah, I killed him.
Yeah.
What up? Who I'm wrestling tonight?
Exactly.
Braun Strowman mad as hell sitting at home like, I just shoved a referee.
Exactly.
Right.
I headbutted. Exactly. I think I just like punched Adam Pearce, and I haven't been on TV for months or whatever.
Yeah.
Randy Orton is allowed to just like, I'll commit, murder by arson, and
I'm essentially a serial killer at this point with a calling card. I have a preferred way of killing.
Yes.
I have a preferred setting. Like, this is.
Meanwhile, the actual serial killer character on NXT is like, fuck, this guy's actually killing people, and I'm a cartoonist. Like, I'm never gonna get this gimmick over. This is gonna be tough sledding for Dexter.
Oh, come on, Loomis. He's the artist of our heart.
Yeah.
He's drawing us in. He's drawing a bridge. He's drawing and quartering us.
How you guys feel about Miz in the Bank returning?
I get.
I mean, I'm glad it. Okay, this is kind of the thing that I was saying with The Fiend. Like, I am glad at the result we are at. There is a much more entertaining way to do that.
That is exactly my point. That's where we knew they were going, but we got there by just like finding him in the stairs, and Adam Pearce is just going to tell him. I will say that they're waiting for him to go, and their timing on like actually reacting to the news was really spot on.
Yeah.
But you're right. That could have been something that was very entertaining way of getting that back in his hands. Like, do another court bit. Let's put JBL back in the court, and the judge thing. There's gold. There's money to be made there, but they're just like, no, let's do it.
You could have established, Adam Pearce as someone who doesn't want to give the Miz back his thing. Like there's so much to be mined from that. And they just, it's like the summer, it's like missed potential, like the summer of Punk. He should have been all over indie shows holding that belt around, showing it to show I'm out. And he was just like, I'm back 2 weeks later. Like they could have milked that for a while. Without having to put, like, Miz in the ring, because that's not the most entertaining thing you can do with your time.
Right.
You need to put Miz in the ring wrestling. Hey, God bless. But, hey, But I'm glad he got it. It's going to be funny. It's fun to have him doing his thing again.
Yeah. Maybe they'll take it off him again really quick, and then he'll find another way. Maybe we'll do this for another year. He'll just lose it and weasel his way back into getting it. I'd be kind of entertained by that, but then it's going to turn into another 24/7 championship kind of thing.
But I do want to say, like, AJ and that promo, fantastic apology. Fantastic apology by Miz. Like, just as an actor, that was a wonderful apology. Like, he pulled that for, like, damn, okay, AJ, you need to forgive him. He can't fix he can only make it right.
Exactly.
Let him make it right, AJ.
Right.
The logic was sound.
There was real sound logic on that promo. And I was like, that's all remorse. So good job on your acting, Miz. Just want to throw that out there. Hope you've been hitting an acting coach.
He's good, man. He's good.
Yep. He's good. Yeah, he definitely is. It never leads to a match that you want to see, but there's definitely... That's why it was so disappointing they didn't draw this out. That's where Miz shines. In things like this. Not a match.
It's true. Miz has his strong points.
Has everyone...
Go ahead.
Is everyone high on the Ricochet match? The Ricochet storyline.
Oh, this was Raw too.
Yeah, this is Raw, baby. This is the greatest storyline ever.
He wrestled the gauntlet and he lost every match.
Every single match. And then to pay off that storyline, he finally had to also not join Retribution.
Stand up to his bullies despite still being bullied. And like at the end of the whole feud, Ricochet's music played as he acted like he got him. He was like, "I will not join. Psych, gotcha. Play my music, Ricochet." I was like, "Bitch, you just lost like 8 weeks in a row. You need to go home." What do you?
So he doesn't join. What was the fucking point of it all? We just buried him for a fucking month straight. I have one of my my dictated reactions. My reaction was I don't want to hear your platitudes. Fuck your convictions. Fuck your goals. Fuck your new tights. Fuck your 90s Aero Michael Jordan sound effect. Fuck your chains. Fuck your back handspring. Fuck everything about Ricochet after this damn mess of this whole shit's been going on the entirety length of our podcast's life, and it's been a fucking mess. Fuck everything. Fuck your sound effect. You're right, over easy. Yep.
It's horrible. He's a verb. We all know it. This guy has all the talent in the world in the ring, but he needs a total repackage. We need to. Maybe this is the point, guys. Maybe he's
fire him. Maybe he's got to leave.
Maybe he's been totally killed and buried, week after week after week, so we can just demolish who Ricochet ever was, and he comes back a whole new guy. I'm telling you, you guys gotta go. You got to watch his run on Lucha Underground as Prince Puma.
I want to.
He was fire. It was so good.
Yo,
he can come back better than ever, but no,
not in this company.
They fucked him up. Maybe not in this company. Maybe he's got to go back to NXT or something.
Nah, that was a mess.
Fuck.
Yeah, they really fucked that up.
Man, he could have been the dude. Well, Raw sucks. There's no. What else is there to even talk about?
Is there anything else good on Raw or noteworthy?
Is that the show Tamina was on 2 weeks in a row, or is that SmackDown?
That's SmackDown.
Yeah, fuck it.
What you say?
What a reveal. Let's go to SmackDown then. Raw, it's bad. What's going on?
SmackDown?
Until the Fiend, like you said, Ariam, until the Fiend comes back and whatever new shit he's got going on, I'm fully and forever giving Bray Wyatt the benefit of the doubt. he's earned that. I believe that he's a creative genius, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now. But let's go to SmackDown.
SmackDown, bro.
Sound effect.
Yes.
Transition.
Yo. Big E.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
There's WWE's gift to you, a babyface win.
Finally.
Doesn't happen very often.
Merry Christmas. Bro, Big E kicked out on one time, and Michael Cole and Corey Graves didn't say shit, and I was pissed. If I was Vince, I would have been like, put that shit over. What's the point of him fucking kicking out on one and you don't even fucking, this match is fucking huge. Anyways, bro, when he won that fucking belt, it was everything.
Up for it.
We're all smoking. Don't stop. Cook, Ariel. Cook for us.
Man, he was, bro, I'm just such a fan. And I love the aftermath this week with him and Apollo. Like him and Apollo kind of like teaming up. And then them finishing up their segment where Apollo was like, I'll take that open invitation for next week.
How
and
cool
Big
is
E
that?
doing that, so fucking cool. Apollo looked like a total badass, challenging Big E's big ass. And then Big E like laughs at him. He's just like laughing like, ha ha ha. Like he's still his goofy ass self, but dominant and powerful. And like, what a combination. I just want to see more of him.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's a baby face. WWE has a baby face. They have they put a lot behind him. This is a man that does not need sympathy. Doesn't need anybody to feel sorry for. What we want to see is we want to see this black boy fly. Let's give him some people to fight and let him fight them. A la Drew McIntyre, like only less selling. Like, come on, let's go.
Yes, you're right.
Like, he does not need to spend like the next forever fighting for him. I think Apollo Crews is a good first match for him.
For
I was
sure.
kind of weirded out by being a tag. His first match as champion ending with a tag team. That was a little weird for me, but I'm okay with it because Apollo Crews can do a lot of stuff that doesn't involve him beating your ass the whole match.
Right.
So I'm down for that.
It's gonna be a great reign. I can feel it.
Also, just one thing. I don't know that it's worth saying, but I'm gonna say it real quick. Vince putting black people together is everything I want, and yet, why does he do it so often?
Often?
Yes. I feel like every black person, he's just like, be in a program with this other black person.
I'm just not used to having this many black people around to bounce off of each other, so I'm just happy to see it, man.
Maybe that's it. You know what? Complaint rescinded.
Like, to be perfectly honest.
But when you like put Sasha with Bianca this week, I was like, yes, but also chill, bro. Like
or nah.
But also like I want them to do their own thing. I don't want
Bianca to take pins anymore.
I will say this: black people like each other.
That's true.
We do like each other. Like, we might hang out. We might have a similar upbringing. We might have some jokes that only we might say words that we can only say to each other. We might hang out.
Then show us that though too. Like you know what I mean? I kind of want to get that like backstage wink. Like, oh, okay, we black and we black here. Like, if it's gonna be like that kind of a dynamic, like I want them to like kind of see that blackness in each other.
And I think we have that in everything but Sasha and Bianca, and they're the newest of it and the least established of all of those pairings. So
that's true, because we kind of got it with Apollo and Big E this week. They were kind of like, thanks for having my back, brother.
And of course that's all over New Day stick. So I think the Bianca Sasha thing, that is just more of a. I think that one, like, more, maybe even more encouragingly, that just might be a happenstance that they're black. Like, this is your champion, your hot champion, and your baby-faced newcomer that you're trying to rehab after you let Bayley beat her for no goddamn reason.
Right.
So, like, that would be a natural pairing of any, no matter the race, gender, or whatever.
Right. No, that's a good point. Carmella lost her entrance.
I'm glad it was. She didn't lose it. It was edited.
Yeah, we trimmed
it. But I think. Do you think we're gonna see that fucking tapestry fall again?
No,
maybe at a pay-per-view.
Maybe.
Huh?
Maybe a pay-per-view, but we don't need to.
Nah.
Gotcha. Okay.
She's
And
not
if it's a
that big
pay-per-view,
time.
it's going to be done better for sure.
No, I think it's done. I think it's done as well as it could be done.
Oh,
I think
no.
that's what it was. Like, it
Oh,
was just
no.
a lot. Like, what was wrong with it? It was her butt in a shadow. Look.
But then neither one of us could figure out which direction she was facing or if it was like actually live.
I think they should have
And
at
then
least made
one
it seem
time
like
it
it was
didn't-
her.
It felt like 2 seconds after the pyro hit and you knew it was supposed to hit at the same time.
I mean, the light was never in the. It was obviously behind her. You could see the light. That's why her butt.
But
was
then
the
it
shape
like
was.
turned around. Like, I don't know. Maybe
No,
that's how it looks.
It's that her butt is towards the light. It shoots up from behind her. That's why her butt is so big in the camera. It looks
That's
like
why I
behind her
didn't do
because
well
that's
on
where
the
the light
ACT.
is. Like it's
Exactly
it's a
why I
booty
didn't do
shot.
well on the ACT.
They got it's from behind, you know. You got to look up at the butt and let the butt come down at you. It's like butt physics, man. You got to study butt physics.
Yeah, man. That's
All
why
right,
I didn't do well on the ACT.
Unit 4 in Illinois, we did butt physics. That's how we get
Butt
down.
Wow.
We didn't learn how to do taxes
Butt
or
physics.
healthcare, but we did butt physics. Butt
Man, oh,
physics.
man.
Butt physics.
Yeah, I'm
Never
gonna say
heard
one
of such a
time. Butt physics. That's how you say it.
Oh, man.
It's like Snyder's Gates for booties.
Tag team division's looking like they're trying to figure it out. Ziggler and Rude got a
The Dirty
shirt
Dogs. The Dirty
and a
Dogs.
name.
You called it.
And I'm with it. Did you guys see the graphic on there?
Yes. See,
I'm
I
down.
knew
It looked good.
Why did they tease it for weeks? They should have just come out and done it. They're the Dirty Dogs, and I just had I had a calm feeling of like ASMR come over me. I was like, oh God, they're a team. Like just give them some new
Yes.
give them new music and some matching gear. I'm gonna start doing the JB Bad
Bro.
titty rubbing. I'm just gonna be
Rubbing the
like,
nipples.
Bro,
they're starting to
Rude-
become a real tag team. And
Rude was amazing.
Robert Roode was giving me fire.
He knows how to
Bro,
do-
come
he knows how
on.
to
Did you
do
see the way
this.
he was looking at the camera?
I'm here for it.
He can bring back the beer money persona, and
Let's
Dolph
go.
Ziggler
Oh
can
my
do anything.
gosh.
Their styles will complement each other because Rude is kind of boring in the ring, but he's a great
Yep.
change of pace. Like that's a great tag team,
I mean,
and I
I'm
think
here for it.
a wonderful
Yes.
foil for the Street Profits.
Yes.
A
And this
wonderful.
it-
foil.
Oh, dude,
Completely agree. And I'm here wearing a Street Profits shirt. You guys know my track record on this show of talking about the Street Profits and my favorite.
You want this?
I couldn't help but just focus on Ziggler and Root that entire time and be like, yes,
Well-
yes, tag teams, yes, belts, yes, sometime, like at some point.
They saved another awful segment. Like they're gonna fuck up the Street Profits if they keep giving them these like scripted promos. Like it's not good in my opinion. Maybe you guys love it. They're very likable,
I like it, I like
but
it.
I'm getting over. I'm getting over it.
I hear that. I hear that. They're not giving them like great stuff, but I think
Yeah.
Montez is good enough that he makes that shit work.
Oh.
Every time he sings like Red Day,
I'm loving
I
that.
feel like I'm at a fucking barbecue. And then he he pointed to like what was it called? The Smoke-tacular or something like that. He was like, we got graphics. I love his ad lib. I love his shit, bro.
They've got invited to the podcast. They called it the Smoke Session or the Smoke-tacular. Like no, they got
Smoke-tacular.
Yeah, they're in. They're
That
in.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Right. Listen, it's just a warning. It hasn't
Fair.
happened yet because they are so charismatic and good,
Yeah.
especially
I hear you
Montez. And he looked so good in that fucking like tux and shit. And he's such a baby face because when they were going after his knee and he was screaming out, man, it's been a while since I've had that like for a baby face. I was feeling like a kid in the Metro Center in like 1997 when Bret Hart had Shawn Michaels in a figure 4 leg lock on the ring post, and my fellow Boy Scout troop had to literally hold me back from running down to save my man Shawn Michaels. He wasn't even because he was injured. He was like in crutches. He was wearing he was wearing a suit, kind of just like Montez was, and it was bringing me back to my childhood of like, oh my God, I want to save him. I want to save my man. Like he's hurt. And and I'm just like he is a gold mine, Montez Ford, man.
Good, man.
I cannot wait. I'm getting
And
goosebumps just thinking about this dude in like 5-10 years.
Bro.
I think a long program with the Dirty Dogs is going to give them the depth that they need. It'll give them something else to do other than stuff like that. I think it's going to be great for them. Get ready for they have a potential feud of the year on their hands if they play
It'd be
it right.
so good.
I think you're right, man.
Speaking of feuds of the year, though, and by feud of the year, I mean feuds that will go all year. Is KO dead yet? Is KO dead yet? Okay,
He
is now.
He just fights. Fight Owens fight. Never stop fighting.
Like that promo Roman gave him in week 2 after the steel cage match, which was an awesome match. You know, I loved that match.
That match was good. I watched it twice, man. I really liked that.
The steel cage
match.
Yeah. Wonderful match. But damn it, Roman's right. Brother, what are you doing here, man? You're embarrassing me.
Exactly.
Right? You had a month here, man.
You're like a cockroach.
You're like, I've squashed you, brother. Like, I paid you. You got your payday. It's over with now, man. You on the island of relevancy. The shit's done with. Get out of here.
I thought the exact same thing, man. I was like,
this is brutal, but he's right.
Like his music hit, I was like, Kevin, man, you got him. Kevin, what are you doing? It's been established you have no friends back there. Your boy Sammy is not here. He's got his own shit going on. You have no amigos. You have no amis, my friend.
Like, let it go, dog.
You gotta give it up.
But you know what?
Watching Kevin like
this week.
Struggling with his handcuff, like struggling to get his feet onto the floor. I was just like, Kevin, this is just getting pathetic. But, I mean, all that said, he's still maintaining. I don't think Kevin Owens has lost much at the end of the day, even though
he hasn't.
Even though it's kind of like, he is like the cockroach who won't die. The shit he's saying when he's like, you're just a bitch, like. And he's never getting beat on his own. Like it's kind of established. Like without Jey Uso, KO probably gets the job done. That's the story they're telling. So
that's
kind of makes sense.
I mean,
the story
and
that
they
told.
Yeah,
they've told the story
over and over again.
It's time to tell another story.
Yes. Who else do we do?
So what it seemed like to me was Vince wanted to go longer,
treading water,
but it needs to be done. But I actually thought did a pretty good job on some of this writing. Like the fucking promo that KO and Roman had together, I think KO said something like the big dog is long gone, he's been replaced by a giant bitch.
Yeah, that's
like
a good line. Fire.
There was just some fucking good lines. When I'm done with your cousin, your family will have nothing to celebrate. Like I was like I was captivated by how these like motherfuckers were going at their language, and Roman saying as the face of WWE, let me start by saying Happy New Year's Eve. I love that he's calling himself the face of the WWE and like what I've done for this company and like the way he's like treating Adam Pearce. Like it is going on too long.
It's not all
but
bad.
They're doing a good job with it.
I wrote this on the week 2 notes. This is, I feel like, why a lot of great championship runs never quite reach their potential, though. Like, they linger a little too long on each feud. Those lines were great, but they didn't necessarily have to be said by KO. They could have been said by his next challenger. You know,
true.
Like
Real talk.
Or they could be said in their own way in that way. Like, I want to see Roman Reigns, for the amount of time he's going to be champion, go through a murderer's row of great challengers. I don't really want to see him spend 2 main events on Jay, 3 main events on Kevin, 2 main events on the next guy. That one's a really good one, so it turns into 4 main events. And then it's time to take the belt off of him, and he's only really wrestled 3 guys.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
and
I don't want to feel
at
that way.
WrestleMania.
And the next time for Goldberg at WrestleMania. So it's like, I want to like, we could have had 4 feuds in this time. And I don't say that those 2 were bad, but like, you could be getting more out of these if you don't linger.
I'd like to
Question.
What's your question?
Question with this story. So at some point, Jimmy has to return, right?
That was exactly what I was just going to say, is like I'm missing where we were going with more of the bloodline story of more of this family kind of thing, because now it just seems like they're treading water with like Roman Reigns needing Kevin Owens. Well, shit. Well, Kevin Owens disrespected me again. Jay, we got to handle this.
Yeah.
And then Roman was like making a big deal of like, Paul, go find out who made that fucking match. And I was like, Adam Pearce made it. He's been making every match. He's the guy. That's the story we've been telling for weeks and weeks. Adam Pearce makes the matches. Paul Heyman comes back. It was Adam Pearce. And Roman's like, God damn it. Like, he's just not going to learn. I was like, you knew it was Adam Pearce. It's making Roman look stupid. Like, you didn't need to send Paul Heyman to figure that out. Like, ultimately, it's Vince McMahon. We all know this. Like, what are we doing? We're treading water. We're doing the doggy paddle. Like, Let's get back.
But
into
Jimmy's
keep
got
it moving.
Jimmy got injured at WrestleMania, knee injury, and I was reading something that said like 6 to 9 months, so sometime in between November to January. So what if he's supposed to be the next thing, but he's not quite ready, and they don't know what to do with him in this interim?
Keep it moving. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you're doing, like, whatever the Jimmy situation is, like, you can handle that later. Just move to another challenger.
There's other baby faces. Make it,
keep
give
it
Otis
moving.
a shot. He'll lose, whatever.
Don't fuck.
But like I don't ever want to see Otis because I hate Otis now. But like that's exactly what I'm talking about.
They made me hate him. I liked him.
Like that's what these guys are for. Like now you work a program with Ricochet, have him finally complete his gauntlet and lose to the great champion because he's earned it now. He's lost to everyone else. Now he gets to lose to Roman Reigns.
Oh God!
Like I don't know, whatever you want to do, like, but just move. And you won't have time to make mistakes like that because it's moving. You won't have time to miss the bloodline because it's moving. And then you can come back to that and you never, that's happening again. And you never notice that it stopped forever because it kept moving.
Yep. Where it's almost like the veil is pulled over. They're telling the same story, but with a different guy. So it's like we're just, we're progressing the character. Mm-hmm. But if it's the same guy over and over again, the lines about him being a cockroach start to really hit home.
Yeah.
And you start to really wonder where this man's friends are.
Like, I don't want to think about that. Like, that issue should be brought up by, The Miz. That's who The Miz is, messing with now. I'm getting stories.
When you say keep moving, like, if it's gotta be Kevin Owens, if you're hell-bent on, like, it's gonna be KO for a while, then at least give him a friend. Let's even the odds for a couple weeks. And have him make a couple saves, and
he
obviously.
Had a friend.
What's up?
He had a friend. They forgot Daniel Bryan.
I know.
Daniel Bryan helped him at the beginning of this feud, and then just stopped.
That's right. Fucking
kind of stopped.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's getting ready to win the World Rumble. That's why he had to go get into training.
I guess so.
And apparently he's busy humping Otis, as I saw on last week's SmackDown.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. God, yeah, I was like, where does this go? Daniel Bryan, Chad Gable, and Otis? Get the fuck out of here.
Daniel Bryan looks like he's having fun. Like but yeah, I kind of was tuning out. I can't remember what else happened on SmackDown besides the main storyline.
Got another Riot Squad win, which I was excited to see.
I did want to mention before we get onto that, my last thing about Roman Reigns is he may have my favorite sell of the stunner ever. I haven't really seen that good of like a snapback sell of the stunner.
He was like just real dead.
Yeah, it's you usually. I like the over dramatics, the Rock kind of ones, but it really sells the stun aspect of it. I really enjoy Roman's sell of the stun.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm high on that.
You want to hit NXT?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right. What's the big story coming out of NXT? What are y'all high on NXT?
Let's see.
What's tickling your pickles?
Well, they just did the end of the year awards.
This is a little bit of a recap year.
Do we agree with what they summed up?
Fuck yeah, Io Shirai fucking killed, bro.
Io was a great year for Io.
Man, oh man, Io Shirai fucking killed.
Great year with the Undisputed Era.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I got something really excited about one of my fucking notes. I don't know if I should go with it.
Yeah, let's go with it. You're excited.
Yeah. So man,
follow the flow.
So sometimes I'm watching, I'm like, man, why is Lucha House Party such a joke? Like, why have they been relegated to being this trash ass team?
Yeah.
And I was watching, I don't know what was it, Raw or SmackDown?
It was Raw. It was the Miz match, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was Grand Metalik and Grand Metalik was wrestling and Lince Dorado was there. And I was like, oh shit, we haven't seen them in a while. And then Legado del Fantasma was just doing an in-ring promo this week on NXT. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what happens if Lucha House Party is a serious gimmick, something they want to take seriously. And I was like, man, that sucks for those wrestlers that they're not doing anything. And then boom, out comes Lucha House Party. I'm like, I fucking popped so hard. I was like, for Lucha House Party, I just love to see it. I was like, what a great program to go into.
Yeah.
It makes complete sense, and it gives both of them something where like there's not just a cruiserweight championship possibility, but like fucking cultural stakes up for grabs. I was excited.
Yeah,
Lindsay Dorado can cut a nice little promo.
Yeah, he's on it.
He sounded great,
right?
Yeah,
and that's the whole thing with the match with the Miz. I was like, this dude was legit as fuck in the Cruiserweight Classic, and when Miz lost, he's like holding his head like, I can't believe I lost to this slum, and I was like, wait, well, let's hold on a minute. This guy's legit. What are we talking about?
They go real back and forth on that one.
Yeah,
put some respect on it.
They really do.
It's a good thing that they landed where they did.
I am putting down an early prediction for Raquel and Ripley being the feud of the year in 2021.
Ooh,
yes, I think that's going to be the feud of the year. I love how this feud is being built. I love the time it's taken, the seeding resentment, the admiration, the desire just to keep. It's almost a romance. There are two women who just want to keep touching each other, and they want to touch each other in the most violent and painful ways imaginable, and they can't quite not focus on that. So I'm really enjoying this feud, and I think it's got a lot of potential.
I love it too. The only thing that's rubbed me the wrong way a little bit about it is how we've talked up the dominance of the NXT women's division, but it seems like no matter what match happens, the end storyline is always going to be about Raquel and Rhea. So it kind of makes people like Toni Storm and these other women who are wrestling not as big of a deal. But I guess if that's the way that they're trying to take it, these two are the queens. The rest are just, playing on the chessboard. That's the way it is. But
I mean, but Io is still the main bitch.
Mm-hmm.
She is. Not for long.
Shit. Did you hear how her fucking walking to the ring this week? She was Toni Storm was talking shit about her. She said she got interviewed and she was about to hit the ropes. She was like, "Yes, I heard what she said. Hey, hit my music."
Yeah,
and like fucking walked out to the ring,
awesome.
bro.
That was badass.
That shit was dope, man. I was like,
she ain't bring her belt. She's like, I'm coming to whoop that ass. Hit my music. I'll be right back.
Yes, I was like, it's still her division, bro. And don't get that shit twisted.
No, you're right about that. Io's this shit.
Yep.
So good, man.
Bronson Reed is forever to be known as my grandmama's favorite wrestler.
Really?
Oh, really?
She's not. It's still wrestling, but she would love him if she still watched wrestling. She would love everything about him, and I will love him for her. So that is now my grandmama's favorite wrestler.
I love that.
Bronson
nice.
Reed. I even love this part where the whole camera shakes when he stomps.
I like that.
Yeah, that's
great. He can't go to the main roster, though.
Well,
can't go.
Otis syndrome.
Can't go. Yep. He's gonna be a jobber in a heartbeat if he goes up there. He's got to stay NXT.
He's the Godzilla of WWE.
You understand that about Bronson, but you don't understand that about Leon Ruff.
Oh no, I didn't. I never thought that Leon Ruff should go to the main roster.
Okay.
My argument was that he shouldn't be relegated to being a jobber anymore in NXT after this.
NXT. He should have been breakout superstar of the year. I'm gonna say that till the cows come home.
Oh,
just in kayfabe, like he's the only one that won a fucking title who was on that list. So
the legit breakout star,
the legitimate breakout star. So I'm just saying robbery.
Fuck Shotzi Blackheart. that was crazy.
Shotzi was a surprise.
They're so high on her, and I'm just
they really are.
I'm not into it like I want to be.
Same.
You know? I don't see what they see, but they're really, really behind her. She's not bad, so I don't want to say that she's not. I even watched her live. I really enjoyed her live when she was at Evolve, but
Same.
I wasn't ready for this level of investment. It's kind of like when I meet a white guy who's a Mos Def fan. Like, I thought I liked Mos Def until you meet a white guy who loves Mos Def, and they're like, "Oh my God, Mos Def is the greatest rapper I've ever heard." And you're like, "He's okay." Like, I like him fine. I thought I did until I met you. And professed to love Mos Def.
That's got to be the start of the show this week. Oh shit!
Oh man!
I swear.
Yo,
it's not really true for me. I like Mos Def, but like I don't.
Yeah, that is a fine level of investment to have the Mos Def. You go to college back in like the thousands, they swear Mos Def was the hottest rapper that has ever. He's so conscious, man. I'm like, yo, dog, like, yes.
Wasn't he on Brown Sugar? Wasn't he on Brown Sugar?
He's probably in Brown Sugar, and
Or well, he was on the Chappelle Show, right?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
he's great.
Yeah.
But like, you could name about 5 better rappers than him if you just sat down and thought about it for 5 minutes. But
yeah,
I've heard that same thing said about white people and MF Doom, who I do really fucking love, which his death hit me a lot. That hurt me. I've been listening like nonstop MF Doom and all of his collaborations for the past couple of days. So shouts to MF Doom, but I'll take him over most stuff for sure.
Like, I don't go that far, but MF Doom, he's a gangster, man. We miss you, brother. 2020 till the bitter fucking end. 2020, fucking hell. There was like 10 minutes left in 2020 when he died. Like, damn.
Yeah. Let that be it.
Let that be done.
What else
we got? Okay.
Oh, NXT.
NXT. If FTR is the original, Grizzled Young Veterans are the remix, baby.
Yeah, they fucked Breezango up.
They what?
They fucked Breezango up.
They did. And then Everrise's dumbass, the ref just left him while she was like acting like she was holding him back.
Great. A lot of hold me back energy.
Yes. It was so good, man. I love that. That was hilarious.
Watching
Perfectly
them in the
done.
ring. I really do. And it just brings to mind that, like, WWE, it's not that they don't have tag teams. They choose not to do them and treat them well once they go to the main roster. They just actively choose to cut their legs out from under them and make them so much worse than they are. Like, the Dusty Rhodes Classic is back, and I'm so glad to see that because NXT is about to have as good as much tag wrestling as AEW's ever have. So they're about to flex it. But once you go to the main roster, they actively sabotage you. So it's like, what you gonna do?
Yep.
Yeah.
Viking Raiders.
Come on, man. The Viking fucking Raiders. What a mess. Heavy Machinery. A breakup story for a tag team that never had a match. Like, what in the world are they doing?
Horrible.
But Grizzled Young Veterans, I think, could be every bit as good as FTR.
Wow, that's heavy. What am I trying to say? Those are big words.
Yeah, I mean, like, just because like they obviously saw everything that worked for them, they're taking it that next step, evolving it, cutting away some of the fat, and like it's an evolved state. So that's a wonderful thing that we get to be a part of. I'm going to enjoy them a lot.
Me too. I think what I'm most high on with NXT the past 2 weeks is The Way. Dude,
their Christmas stuff
those
was funny,
Christmas
man.
montages, that the indie wrestling bit,
bro,
I was like snorting out whatever the hell I was drinking. I was laughing so hard at that shit.
So good.
And like I'm really loving like the dim-witted children to the mother and father dynamic that we've got going on. I think it's really good.
That's great.
And your boy Austin Theory won Future Star of the Year.
Yeah, that was a robbery. That's the one that Leo Rush. That's bullshit.
Who should it have gone to?
Not him. He's on a losing streak.
No, but it's about the potential.
The potential to do what? There was Leon Ruff. He is a former North American champion. Bullshit.
Yes,
but what's his future? It was about the future.
Exactly.
Well,
and that's the problem.
You got to sit me down. I got to sit down now.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
That's the other thing about Leon Ruff.
Come on, man. Listen, I'm not gonna take any Leon Ruff disrespect this week on the 420 Wrestling Hour.
I have one disrespectful thing to say about Leon Ruff.
Okay.
You can't finish up. Your finisher can't be a moonsault. You weigh like 25 pounds.
Fair enough.
He came down on Johnny Gargano with the moonsault, and I was like, that can't have hurt that much. He's not that big. He's a little. That's not going to hurt that much. A moonsault.
He jumped really high. He got terminal velocity.
I guess it's like that's the story in pro wrestling is that the higher you are, the more it hurts. So I guess I get it. No, never mind.
Absolutely, but that was a great final match between those two. Leon Ruff looks like he belongs in the ring with Johnny Gargano.
I agree.
And I don't know. I don't think he lost anything from losing the NXT North American Championship that quickly. That's why I want to see him do more. Do I think that he goes to the main roster? Absolutely not. No. But I think he has a place in the NXT like mid card.
I hope so.
The same place,
and maybe sometimes even bordering on fighting main eventers that aren't in a title picture.
I look at him as like a good Cassius Ohno.
Whoa! What?
That's a slap in the face.
You're saying Cassius Ohno's not good?
No, not good. Like in quality, like he was a babyface Cassius Ohno. He's the guy that you work with when you come in. It establishes something about you as a character.
I got you.
And you could count the amount of feuds that Cassius Ohno won on one hand. Like,
yeah,
he had a spot and he was known and he was.
Well, I guess you're saying Leon could do for incoming heels what Cassius Ohno would do for incoming good guys.
Yeah,
essentially.
Look what he did for Karrion Kross.
Yeah,
like that's a wonderful spot.
No, I still think he's more than that, man. His match this week was. His in-ring talent is too good for that.
He's very likable.
In-ring talent is not as good as Leon Ruff.
What?
Whoa!
Did you watch this?
Chris Hero is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Speak thou not rough of Chris Hero, the heroic one.
He's one of the best.
Come on now.
I don't know if we watched the same match this week, but him and Johnny Gargano had a fucking ballet.
It was a great match.
Show out there.
I'm not taking anything away
insane.
from Leon Ruff. He's a very, very talented guy.
Yeah,
but I'm not putting him up there with Chris Hero now.
Chris Hero never had a match on NXT that made me feel anywhere as excited as what I was watching with Johnny Gargano and Leon Ruff.
I'll give you that Cassius Ohno was not his finest, hour or years, but his body of work,
his body of work maybe, but I think the argument was saying that he was going to be a Cassius Ohno. So we're talking about him on NXT. I don't think he had any good track record on NXT.
No. He was not,
and that's not how I see Leon Ruff.
He was a setup guy kind of thing.
But that's what I think Leon is. Like, good match, he's a setup guy.
Doesn't have to be.
I love it.
We shall see. We gonna see.
The only time will tell.
Time will tell on that bad boy.
He's done with Johnny for now, but I think he's got the potential to be a real likable mid-card guy who you can pop the crowd by putting him in a big-time match every once in a while, even a 4-way or something like that, where you tease him winning a bunch of times, and it's like eventually it'll pay off again down the road sometime, and he'll get a short other reign again. But that's about as far as a guy like that will go. But that's still very high,
Yeah,
I take it.
What else?
I'm not going to criticize the existence of 205, but if they're going to have NXT on that cruiserweight belt, more of the storyline needs to take place on NXT.
Seriously.
And maybe they are, because essentially that's what Swerve and Jake Atlas are. They're cruiserweights fighting each other, but it just doesn't feel like they have much to do with the cruiserweight title right now.
Right.
It feels like most of that's happening on another show.
I don't watch 205 Live. Like, who is Curtis Stallion? Has he ever been on NXT?
I don't think so.
That's the thing, is also they do that with NXT UK, and then they put him in the fucking NXT awards show, and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that is. You act like I watched that show. None of us watch that damn show. We know Walter.
It's weird they put it in the same brand, or the same umbrella. Like the NXT End of Year Awards also includes NXT UK, which is a show they know not as many people watch. But
yeah, I was just confused. I can't even say whose names it was, because I truly don't even remember them or know who they are. But there were 3 people probably in that award show, and I was like, I have no idea who you are. There's no way you're winning this.
Well, of course not. None of them did. Ilya Dragunov or Kylie Ray. No, they did not win.
Kylie Ray, you didn't even have an organization for most of the year. I don't want to hear from you. This is NXT UK wasn't even here. We almost shut that down because of speaking out. Calm the fuck down.
Oh man,
Velveteen
So, are we excited for? Oh, stop it. But hey, that was one of the best matches I've seen from him in a while. I was good. I'm glad to see him back.
Who?
Velveteen.
Yeah.
Dream and Cole? Hell yeah, bro.
One day, Dream is actually going to beat Adam Cole, and I'm going to rejoice. One day. I don't know what day that'll be.
We got to
He's
build it
lost
back
to
up
Adam
again.
Cole like a million, zillion times, and the only way he has left to lose to him is to not lose to him and to win.
Yeah.
So,
It's crazy to think that in 2020, Velveteen Dream made a return as a good guy and attacked a bad guy Undisputed Era, and now those roles have completely reversed in the same year.
Yeah.
Crazy times.
Everybody excited for New Year's Evil?
Yeah.
Kinda, but I don't want to see Dexter Lumis. So
That's the only thing I'm not excited about is Dexter Lumis.
Yeah.
he's gonna be on TV a lot, and
Not
I don't
talking,
want to
just
see him.
just staring at the screen.
Yeah, they ruined. Yeah, they
They
ruined
Dexter
it.
Lewis, but we got a rematch for Finn and Kyle O'Reilly though.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
And
Maybe
I
they
have,
Damian
match
Priest,
here.
Karrion Kross,
Yes.
Woo! That
Yes.
that brawl of that bill was awesome. That's how
Yes.
Raquel and Rhea. They had that
Mm-hmm.
R&R tattoo change on a graphic to RVR. And I was like, that's some good, that's a nice fucking touch, WWE.
Very
Good job,
nice.
production.
Yes.
Shouts out.
That's going to be that's going to be I was going to say takeover quality show. Is that actually a takeover or is it a Wednesday night?
It's a Wednesday night, I
Yeah,
think.
That's
Yeah.
going to be
And Santos and Grand Metalik, I think.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited about that one too.
hell yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else is on that card.
Do you think you were gonna get a new champion? There's an outside chance we get a win by Kyle.
Man, his intensity made me feel it.
Yeah,
I think why the fuck not?
like Finn
That-
looks
exactly.
great as champion. Man, he looks great as champion.
I was like, Finn's supposed to have it for a while.
But a short baby
I
face
also
run by Kyle.
Exactly. But I was like, nah, but if somebody's going to take it, I'd be fucking excited if Kyle did.
I think it's something that not a lot of people would expect, and it'd be a really cool way to end the night.
Man, that'd be dope.
Especially if Karrion Kross comes back after fucking up Damian Priest earlier in the night and then fucks him up again and is like, I'm taking my belt back.
I think we'll be able to tell that if the Karrion Kross Damian Priest match goes on first, we might have a big hint.
Mm-hmm.
on
That'd
how
be
this
cool.
whole thing go.
But shit, yeah. So speaking of end of the year awards on NXT, we should do a couple end of the year awards before we end the show.
Let's do it, baby.
Yeah.
Some smokies.
Because 2020 was a strange year. Because we think about, I watched a YouTube video that was suggested to me by the almighty algorithm from WWE. That was their biggest surprises of the year. And Velveteen Dream was one of them, which is how I remembered that he came back as a good guy. But of course, their number one return of the moment was probably one of the coolest moments of the year of 2020, which happened very early on in the year at the Royal Rumble when Edge returned.
Right.
And as I watched that video, I had a very emotional response because of the crowd. And I think that was like the last good pop that we've had as wrestling fans. With crowds, like you didn't get a bigger one while they were still there, and then crowds stopped in March or whatever. So that was one thing I wanted to mention is just like to me that's got to be the biggest moment of the year because that was the last big moment with a crowd that I can remember.
You know what? It's so funny you said that because I was struggling trying to figure out like what my match of the year was, and that's my match of the year actually.
The Royal Rumble match.
The Royal Rumble match is my match of the year.
That's a great
that
choice.
Fucking Edge moment gives me goosebumps every time I think about it. It was the launching pad of Drew McIntyre's like run to take the belt from Brock Lesnar. We had I think Keith Lee was teasing
With Brock Lesnar.
with Brock Lesnar, like that moment.
That's when Brock said, "Who the fuck is this big ass guy?" or something like that.
Whoa,
yes,
big boy.
Brock. It was just so well written, that whole fucking match.
That match was great. That's a great choice for match of the year.
That's it, man. That's it for me.
For moment of the year, I was you kind of split me. Like the biggest moment that I remember was the biggest pop I had was Roman coming back at SummerSlam because I honestly didn't think I was going to see him for the rest of the pandemic. Like I really when he came flying out of nowhere. and ran through the Fiend and Braun Strowman. That was, excuse me, that was a pop that I didn't think I was capable of in this new pandemic era.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good to marinate on too. I didn't really give that the weight of thought that I should have when I was considering moments. Because at SummerSlam, I didn't expect to have another big pop at the end of the night. And that was just like, oh fuck, Roman's back. But now you've made me think about,
and I popped loud.
The even bigger pop for me was the revealing of the Paul Heyman alliance.
Cool.
Which didn't even happen in the ring. It was just a backstage segment, but that was a huge pop for me too. And I didn't even think I was going to talk about moments other than the Edge one. I hadn't even really thought about it. So that's cool to think about.
And for me, and this is based solely on personal enjoyment, for match of the year. Like, I think it might not have been the best wrestled match, because I think that was Sasha versus Bayley in the Hell in a Cell. I think that was the best, maybe the best wrestled match of the year. I don't even think it was the best one of its kind of match, and I'm going to tip my hand because it isn't the Boneyard match. The Firefly Funhouse match is my favorite match of 2020. Like, it is a deconstruction of the John Cena character, what he means to wrestling, and what wrestling is in the modern era. And it is an art piece in a wrestling ring that I never, ever thought I would see. I don't even think you could even do that with anybody else. John Cena walked into that and said, okay, Bray, destroy me. Break me down to a subatomic level, because I'm going to go make money elsewhere for a little bit. I don't really care. You don't need to protect me. And Bray obliged. What an experience. I will always remember sitting through that match. So that's
JB Bad
for me.
You cut the promo for me. That's my match. That is without a shadow of the doubt my match of the year. Maybe my favorite WWE match of all time. And I don't know if that says more about me as a wrestling fan, that it may be my favorite match of all time when I think about it, because there wasn't a whole lot of fucking wrestling in it. But that said, it's everything I love about pro wrestling as an adult pro wrestling fan. Yeah. That just looking at it at that meta backstage level of, just like you said, dissecting a man's career, and from what we've been told, a real one of a kind creative genius pro wrestler that is Bray Wyatt, pretty much given full creative green light to say, like, make this happen, do what you want to do. And John Cena being like, I'll do whatever you want to do. And it's, as an adult pro wrestling fan, I've never been so utterly fascinated and enamored by a match that I've watched over and over again than that match. It makes me excited just thinking about it. So yeah, by far my match of the year. 2 out of 3 we had agreed on that. But the Royal Rumble is on my short list for sure, as is Kyle O'Reilly, Finn Balor 1
at TakeOver Portland.
Yes.
Who do you think is Wrestler of the Year?
Well, can I give one honorable mention real quick?
Oh, please.
Io Shirai, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, TakeOver in Your House.
That was good. That was
fucking amazing. Also so match. Good. And also agree with you, JB, about Sasha Banks and Bayley at Hell in a Cell. Holy fuck, Sasha Banks destroyed herself. Yeah. Amazing shit.
Also worth mentioning, WWE did their own best matches of 2020 list. Topping that list was the Boneyard match, which is hilarious to me, because they had a match this year called the greatest wrestling match of all time. And that didn't even win the best wrestling match of 2020.
That's funny.
Wait, was that Shane or was that last year?
No,
that was this year. Edge and Randy Orton.
Oh, Randy Orton. Oh my gosh. And yes. Oh my god.
The best wrestling match of all time couldn't win best match of 2020. They booked themselves in a corner there.
Sorry
amazing.
About it.
That's good. So Wrestler of the Year, though.
Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah,
man.
So I have a short list. I have a couple honorable mentions.
Can we do one of each, please?
Yeah, but who gives a fuck? There's no rules. I think my first thought was, I think the overall wrestler, performer of the year, whatever you want to call it, I want to give to MVP. because MVP came back, got a huge pop at the Royal Rumble. Not as big as Edge, but that set the tone early on in the year, January. Oh shit, MVP's back. I thought it was a cool pop at the Royal Rumble, but I didn't have high hopes for what MVP was going to do in WWE. I was like, what's he going to do? What's so funny?
I didn't expect that. You could have said Claire Huxtable and I would have been less surprised.
What'd you say?
I wasn't ready for that.
For me to pick MVP?
Was not ready at all. Like
really?
My mouth was
No.
open. I didn't see that shit coming at all.
Oh, so this is me not seeing the video again. I don't see your guys' reactions.
Oh.
I'm gonna buy a fucking laptop now that I have a full-time job, and then I will get to see you guys while I do it. But it'll crash my fucking computer from 1996 if I have the video tab open at the same time. But wow,
Sorry, yeah,
my choice of MVP popped you guys.
Blew my mind.
Yes.
I'm
Oh
not,
my-
no arguments here. Yeah, you blew my mind though.
Well, let me
I'm high as fuck.
let me
That was wild.
continue setting my case here.
Cook, baby.
So
cook.
I did not have high hopes at all for what MVP would do or what role he had. I thought that then it came out that like he had signed a full-time contract, and I'm like, really, MVP? Like during a pandemic, you just fire a bunch of people and you're bringing back this old dude? I didn't have when MVP was a big deal on his first run. I was not really watching wrestling, so I wasn't as committed. But this dude has come back and accelerated the careers of at least 3 other dudes who are now a part of the biggest faction that's going in WWE right now. If not for MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric, and fucking Bobby Lashley are not as big a deal as they are right now. And I think when you're thinking about MVPs of the year, MVP's got to be a part of that discussion. Every time he was on the mic, he delivered. So
We're discussing it, so he's part of the discussion. So there it is.
Damn.
that being said,
You ever seen that meme?
What'd you say?
You ever see that meme where the dude's sitting at the table and he's like, blah, 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 changed my mind?
Yes.
Like, I was sitting at that fucking table and you just changed my mind.
It's like MVP is the wrestler of the year. Changed my mind.
Holy fuck. And you go into it because you're like, this is easy bait. Of course,
well, when you
won't be
talk
able to
about
change my mind.
what you ask of an older pro wrestler, like MVP, come back. We want you to work with some of these younger guys who are having a harder time getting over. Not only, did he do it? He fucking killed it. Like
Yes,
these guys
you're right.
these guys are almost untouchable on WWE right now, and it's all thanks to MVP. They all had their talent on their own, but he's the glue that keeps that together, and that I think is something that's a rare breed in pro wrestling. So I got to give it up to MVP in 2020.
Damn, I smoke up for that.
In the age of no
I
crowds and a
smoke up for that.
pandemic, like he really kept that shit entertaining. So I'll smoke for MVP this year. But he wasn't my top choice. He's my honorable mention.
Your honorable mention. He's been mentioned honorably.
My wrestler over easy, Kyle Cush's pro wrestler of the year goes to MJF.
Ooh, MJF.
MJF is my favorite. I think he's the best in the game doing it in 2020. He's no matter where you put him on the card, he elevates where he's at in it. I don't think there's anything that you can criticize him on. He's done comedy. He's done drama. That scene with him and his Puerto Rican brothers where they like bonded over losing loved ones, like that acting was on point. Like it was so good.
That was good acting. That was really good acting.
He's a detestable heel, but cool enough to be likable. He cuts an amazing promo. He's great in the ring. There's just when I really thought about it across the board, when I think about all those Las Vegas bits and the song and dance number, he constantly popped me, made me laugh, made me feel things, all the way up until that classic tribute match to Brodie Lee last week on Dynamite. I think he was the performer of the year in 2020. What do you guys think?
Oh, man. On my end, I'm going to give an honorable mention to Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
Big Daddy Drew. I didn't decide if I was going to give it to him or make him my pick until I just said those words. I'm going to go with Big Daddy Drew.
Love it.
Yeah, he's carried, as he like to say, he carried the WWE through uncharted waters.
No doubt.
Like, this could have gone so bad so many ways, and he has done nothing but make himself a star. He's gotten the brass ring, all the ball and run with it, all the cliches. He's doing them. He is doing the thing that he set out to do all those years ago. And on the other side, I think my pick is going to be, and where I always come down on in-ring performance, and for me, that's my man, the cleaner, Kenny Omega.
Okay.
That guy was in the feud of the year with Hangman Page. He's in some of the great tag team matches all year. He's been in some of the best matches on TV every time he goes out and does it. And now he's capping it off as the world champion of AEW. So that is heat big year for my man Kenny Omega. Wrestler of the year for me.
Dog. I can't argue with either of those choices.
Yo, I hear that. So my honorable mention is actually Bayley. I think she carried the women's division this year.
Yeah.
Like, carried it. 380 some odd days as SmackDown Women's Champion when Sasha's contract status was unclear and we didn't really know what was going on there and she wasn't on TV. We always had Bayley. She just kind of carried the torch the entire way. And then when Sasha did come back, they had some time together. Their feud was amazing when they finally separated. And somehow she's still relevant and she's so fucking entertaining every time she's on TV. The ding dong shit, like, she's just so, like, genuinely funny.
She never went away. Like, she was supposed to go away for a while and she never did. And I'm like, I'm so glad she didn't. I don't.
And it's not going. It doesn't seem like it at all, which I'm here for.
It's a good choice.
But I got to give it to Drew, man. Drew is my wrestler of the year. I loved his moment at the Royal Rumble, which was obviously my match of the year. Him moving on to beat Brock Lesnar, like, man, would that have been dope in an arena full of fans, like, to see him win that fucking belt and take it from Brock Lesnar when we all wanted it so bad. Like, as a Drew McIntyre fan, like, the last 2 years have been tough because you see the talents there. Like, you see that he's ready for that moment, and it was just, like, never given to him. And when it all kind of was collapsing all at the right moment to meet at WrestleMania, man, fuck. I wish fans would have been there, but obviously I understand Corona had her own plans.
That baby face.
But
Corona.
Yeah, man. But anyways, even losing the belt, you know, this fall, this winter, and then fucking getting it back, like, what, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, just so he could have that match at Survivor Series. Like, he never lost steam. He's still doing really well right now. He's definitely my wrestler of the year. I'm so proud of him. Like he's my fucking friend.
He is your friend. You can just have a pint with him. He's a great, good guy at the top. You can't argue with Drew. I don't think you couldn't argue with anyone who put Jon Moxley in that spot on the AEW side. But yeah, Drew may be the obvious choice. I may have mined a little bit deeper, you know, trying to find some non-traditional choices. But
we love you, brother.
Yeah,
we love. I mean, shit.
I was gonna put R-Truth.
I didn't even realize how integral MVP has been.
Dude, he's been, like, when I think about 2020 and WWE television, like, all the way back from when we were first doing pandemic TV, when he was doing the MVP lounge and getting Claymored by Drew McIntyre, like, he was giving Drew the rub, but, like,
yeah.
Was,
I've always liked Bobby Lashley and wanted him to have a chance, and he was, like, almost there with Lio Rush. And then fucking destroyed by Lana, and MVP has elevated him to that status where it's like,
we don't even
get
remember
the fuck
Lana.
out of his way.
Hey,
Backstage.
Lana who?
Yeah, exactly.
She
broke her arm and her leg from Nia.
And tables.
Kayfabe or no?
Kayfabe.
Let's hope.
Gotta be.
So those were they were. Those were the first annual Stony Awards, the Stonies,
baby,
as we like to call them.
Dun, 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 dun.
But do you have any thoughts about 2021? This has got to be the year that we get crowds back. This has got to be the year. The Roaring 20s, baby. We got to have it.
Mm-hmm. Be safe, be vaccinated, and we can get these crowds back.
Jesus, I hope so. Please. Because I want to go back to freelance, for the love of God.
Man, freelance wrestling. I want to be there.
I need to go back to my indie shows and feel that feeling.
We miss you, Effie Lives. We miss you, Craig Mitchell.
Who do you guys think wins Royal Rumble?
Daniel Bryan, baby. He done already called it on Twitter, so I got to stand by that.
I'd have my money on Daniel Bryan. There's a chance that they're teasing it so hard that they're going to swerve you with something. There's always that chance, but right now, that's even if it's the writing's on the wall and we know it's going to happen with Daniel Bryan, I have full faith that it's going to be awesome no matter what.
Okay.
I hope he comes out. I hope he comes out first and he wins the match. I hope.
Yeah, baby.
That's what I hope.
All right. So, can we smoke the final time for 2020?
Yeah, let's smoke. Well, let's smoke one out.
Yeah, smoke one out. It was a good 2020 in the way that in only one way that we started doing this shit.
Exactly.
It was the birth of a legend. It
was the birth of the 420 Wrestling Hour 2020. So for that, we'll always be thankful.
The beginning of an era.
And if we're sorry again that we missed a week. If anyone out there was sad about that, then interact with us on Twitter and shit so we know.
Yeah.
Please.
That would be great. We're on there at 420 Wrestle Hour on Twitter and Instagram. And next week, I think we can tease a little segment called JB's Secret Stash.
Oh, now I'm on the line now. All right, you're going to get your wrestling history.
I'm putting it on the air right now, so
Yeah,
I'm holding you to it.
The cheap bullshit officer out there is waiting for it. That's one of our Twitter followers.
Nice. I love it.
Secret stash. I like it.
So I guess I got to do this now. So you're going to find out what's been going around in the vault, what your boy been cooking up, all right? 2021 is going to be full of surprises. This is going to be one of them.
Yeah, because the current product's not always good, but the WWE Network is an invaluable resource that if you're ever seeking a little palate cleanser from the current product, JB is going to go into his little secret stash and give you some fun matches to check out.
Drop it on you like Salt Bay.
Was that? Oh, you like Salt Bay? I like that.
Drop it on you.
And you may get to see JEFFJARRETT on Monday Night Raw TV tomorrow night.
Yeah.
The Legends.
Get ready, baby.
The Legends
night.
Because whenever WWE gets all-time horrible rankings, if threatening to light a human on fire doesn't do it, bring back the Legends.
Oh yeah.
Let's bring out fucking Gorilla Monsoon, or not Gorilla Monsoon. He's dead. Rest in peace.
Racist again towards black men. Hey, what? Sorry.
Yes.
Seriously.
I was thinking of Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah, no one cares.
Fuck. No one gives a shit. And I like Farouk, but I don't want to hear him say damn.
He's gonna, dude. Get ready.
I know. Fuck. I hate it.
You can't stop it. You can't stop it, baby. It's gonna happen.
I hate it, man.
Just Ariam, you just gotta hold out for that glass shatter, and maybe the night will all be worth it.
I'm always ready, baby.
But it'll be like 90 seconds till end of air, and you still won't hear it, and then you probably still won't hear it when the credits roll. You never know.
You got too much money for this.
Well, shit. That was a little wrap up of the last 2 weeks, and some end of year Stony awards, and a little look at 2021. What do you say we wrap it up here and cash these joints out?
Cash them, baby.
This was the 420 Wrestle Hour. This was Over Easy. Kyle Cush. Who are you guys?
JB Bad, the Impact Driver.
Ariam, a.k.a. the Canary.
The Canarium is what I like to call him.
Canary. I'm so high.
Catch us this week. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Let us know you're out there. Until next week, deuces.
Peace.
Peace out.